Hey, what is happening, folks? It is Jimmy G in the place to be, bringing you a far out in a galaxy far, far away episode of The Good, the Bad, the Awesome, where we unbox, give my first reaction of all things pop culture, mainly Star Wars, Transformers, McFarlane figures, anime, and sprinkled in with a bunch of other stuff. So if this is your first time here and you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Support the channel. And if you've been here before, thank you for supporting. Thank you for being there for moi. And so today what we are going to do, we are going to go to a galaxy far, far away. Yes, I promised you we would go to Star Wars some this week. I know some of y'all been waiting for some Star Wars stuff, so we got some Star Wars stuff. I found these Black Series figures at an incredible price, and I just couldn't pass them up. So I wonder, are they any good? So let's take a look at these two figures, or this 2-pack from the Book of Boba Fett. Let's do it. This is what we have to look at today, folks. I told you I'd be going back to Star Wars. I know a lot of y'all been waiting. It's been a few weeks, Jimmy, since we've seen something from Star Wars. Well, I have it, and I have it here. I've had this in my collection for a while. Picked it up at Target when it was on clearance. Originally, this cost $60, but Target had it on sale, and I believe I picked it up for $20 on clearance, and I was like, what a bargain for two. Not one, but two Black Series figures. Now, this is Cobb Vanth and Cad Bane, and if you don't know much about them, brief little history, and I'll put a link down below about their bios and stuff like that. Cad Bane, we first see him in the cartoon or animated series, The Clone Wars. He is a bounty hunter, just like very quick on the quick draw, very ruthless bounty hunter, and had a big part in the Book of Boba Fett, and also in Star Wars The Bad Batch. We see him again. He is played by, in the live action, he is played by Dorian King, who is the guy in the suit, but the voice is Corey Burton on that. And then we have Cobb Vanth, the sheriff of Freetown, or Mos Pelgo, played by Timothy Oliphant. His first appearance was actually in a book, Star Wars Aftermath, which came out around the 2015, 16, 17 time. But first television appearance was in The Mandalorian Season 2, where we saw him in the Boba Fett armor and was like, who is this man? But this is his Book of Boba Fett appearance, where he has his regular sheriff outfit on. And I am excited about this. I really love these two characters. Timothy Oliphant is one of my favorite, I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right, but he's one of my favorite actors out there. I mean, in Deadwood, Justified, he's been in several things that I really like. One underrated series was the Santa Clarita Diet or something like that, with Drew Barrymore, where Drew Barrymore is a zombie. But I really enjoy his portrayal on television of who he is, and if I ever get a chance to meet him in real life, I definitely will be getting his autograph. I've seen Dorian King at a Fanboy before. I haven't seen Corey Burton before. Corey Burton does a lot of voice acting, but this is the box. This is it. That's what we're not here to talk about their history. We're here to look at the toy, and I know it's been out a while, and there's probably 100 reviews on this. Well, this is my review of these two figures, and so you haven't had my review yet. You haven't heard if this is good, bad, or awesome. So, but I do love the box there. The figures are on the front, the side, the back, the side, and all the stuff you get, and all the obligatory things. This box is in really good shape for being on clearance. If you're an in-the-box collector, this is great, but the thing I hated was Hasbro went to these windowless packages or plastic-free packaging, but I believe they're going back to the windows with the Black Series and things like that, because that was the sex appeal of Star Wars figures, was seeing them there staring at you, going, "Let me out of the box, let me out of the package." So, but that's what these are saying right now. They're like, which means let's get out of the box. So let's do that right now. Out of the box and on my laboratory table, here they are, Cobb Vanth and Cad Bane, or Cad Vanth and Cobb Bane. I don't know. You could pronounce them however you want to. Legends in Star Wars. I really love the Star Wars expanded universe and the characters that Dave Filoni is bringing to sight now. I know there's a lot of Star Wars fatigue going out there, but Ahsoka really did do an amazing job as a series too as well recently. But I love the Mandoverse, and I love the figures that are coming out of the Mandoverse. But here's what you get. You get in here, you get 2 guns, and those guns are pretty nice looking there. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can kind of get the details there, but very cool. These are Cad Bane's guns right here, his 2 shooters that he has. You also get Cobb Vanth's gun, which is like a, you know, like a Dirty Harry, you know, 44 Magnum there, you know. Do you feel lucky? And then you also get 3 blast effects. Now here's what's funny. You get these 2 small blast effects, and then you get this big old one. I have no idea what this one's for. I don't know if it's maybe there's a flamethrower on one of these guys or something, but dang, that is huge. That is a huge blast effect. So there's probably a flamethrower on one of them. We'll see. But then you also get the 2 characters here, and so you get Cad Bane's hat does come off right there. But let's take a closer look at Cobb Vanth. And that kind of foreshadowing, if you haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett, that's kind of what happens. But hopefully he does come back, because we saw in the end credit scene, spoilers, that he was in the Bacta tank and getting modifications. So we may see him again. But look at that. I think they did a pretty decent job. I mean, the hard part on these Black Series is trying to capture the actor's likeness. You know, it kind of looks a little more like a, you know, kind of a retired Santa Claus there than Timothy Oliphant there, but you know, you can tell who it is. This is Cobb Vanth, right? So, but from other than that, the other stuff that they have, you have his little cloth, and the detail in the suit is very good. His outfit, I really do enjoy that. You also got the holster for his gun that you can stick that right in there, and then his hands, of course, are in the position where he can hold his gun, and you can put it in either hand if you want to, but it should go in that one right there. But there's a close-up of that face. So like I said, kind of sort of resembles him, but not really. Black Series typically tries to put in a little extra detail. I think they do a better job, Black Series, at their helmeted figures or their alien figures, which we'll see with Cad Bane here in just a moment. But articulation wise, just like any other Black Series, you do have the zit articulation, the spin. You don't have the lift right there, but you do have the elbow that does go up, and then the wrist does spin and does move too as well. It's on a little joint there, and then you do have some ab crunch. You do have the spin there, and then the legs, you don't quite have the Jean-Claude, but what I do like, you do have the spin there, you do have the spin there, you have the 90-degree angle there, you have the ankle tilt, and up and down if you need to. So you can kind of pose them however you want to. You can put them in some really good poses. The thing I don't like about some of these figures, though, it's just kind of like you got to really get them balancing just right, and sometimes it looks like they're leaning more forward on that. So, but there he is, rotisserie style. You can kind of see him just roasting on an open fire there, taking care of Freedom Town, and Mospelgo. I like the name Mospelgo better. But then we get to the bounty hunter himself, Cad Bane. Cad Bane. He's like, you know, the Cadbury Bane of my existence. But the hat, really nice little detail on the hat. But the face, you can kind of see here, they did a really good job on that. I wish you could have had his little robot. That would have been cool. What is the robot named? Like Toto or something like that? I don't remember. But the got the nice trench coat that any Western bounty hunter should have, and then you have, of course, the flamethrowers on either side, which I believe this is what this is for, and it just kind of sticks in like so. Boom. Yep, there we go. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, some, again, really good detail here in the suit. Same kind of articulation. I won't go over the articulation here, but you may have a little bit more issue with Cad Bane because of the trench coat with his legs. But you also have the two holsters for his guns that you have there. So, but let's rotisserie this guy a little bit. There you go. But there he is too as well, Cad Bane in the flesh. Probably got his hat on backwards, but that's okay. And like I said, getting them standing sometimes is just a little tough, but from a height standpoint, here is my phone for reference with my beautiful Tarn wallpaper, so you can kind of see where they stand. But let's do this. Let's compare him to some other figures that we got, so that way you can see how big they are compared to other lines. And here they are again, a reunion tour with the band. We've got 6-inch Black Series Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett there. I'd like to get the Cobb Vanth in the Boba Fett armor. That would be kind of cool to have. But we also have 7-inch Keaton Batman. We got a 5-inch McFarlane All Might, 3.75-inch Ahsoka, and then we also have the Transformers Legacy G2 Jazz on that. So you can kind of see from a height standpoint where they kind of compare. What is interesting is the 5-inch All Might is just as big as the 6-inch Black Series. I don't know why they say 5-inch, 6-inch, and all that kind of stuff when they really, I mean, they're kind of in that area, but they're not really. But that's how they look together. So definitely going to scale well with your 6-inch Black Series figures on that. So let's do this. Let me get them in some weird and wacky wild poses, and we'll give you some of my final thoughts on, was this a great bargain buy, or should have I paid full price for these two figures? And so my final thoughts on Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth 2-pack from the Book of Boba Fett. Now, this is not my thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett. That series was okay. It wasn't my favorite, yet it wasn't the worst. The episodes with the Mandalorian in it were great, and towards the end it was really, really good. But there were some slow-moving parts in that series. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about these two figures that you just saw. And so let's first bring in Mr. Cobb Vanth there. There he is. Look at that beautiful side mug. Now, one thing that I failed to show you from an articulation standpoint, the arm does pop up. It's just very, very tight in order to do that. I thought I was going to break it, but it does pop up. So you do have that motion. And then we have the bounty hunter himself. Now, the number one bounty hunter will always be Boba Fett. But Cad Bane is up there, so there he is, the beautiful, blurry Cad Bane. And so, between the two figures, my favorite is this one. I mean, this one kind of looks like Timothy Oliphant, but not really. Whereas, again, the alien figures, I think Star Wars does a really good job, and I think this has a little more character to it with the duster and stuff like that. I know this is accurate to the show, but I kind of wish they would have given him like a long trench coat too. That would have been kind of cool. But I think for me, the one I want to get is the Cobb Vanth in the Boba Fett armor. That one looks a little bit cooler. This one is, I think, the figure that is my favorite of the 2-pack. Now, the pros on these guys, I mean, they look really, really good. The cons are, like, if you paid full price for these, it was $60 plus tax for both of them. Wow, man, Hasbro, the prices are really, really going up. I mean, you know, I remember back in the day when I'm just kidding, but getting these on clearance, sorry about that. They definitely are a better deal when I got them on clearance. So for like $20, I couldn't pass them up. $60, I kind of had to wait on. And there are some figures out right now. There's the Luke Skywalker Black Series with Grogu. Who's that much? And I'm like, holy cow, just for 1.5 figures. That's nuts. But these two figures together, $20. I'm glad I added them to my collection. I know I'm a little too late to the party showing these off to y'all, but you know what? a lot of times I like to buy things on deals. I like to get them on deals either through Ross, Dress for Less, or see them on clearance. And so definitely look after Christmas at Target, because you're going to see a lot of stuff go on clearance and a lot of really cool stuff. So make sure you do that. Pro tip on that. So on a scale of good, bad, awesome, this one right here, he is, I would say, just pretty good for me. You know, he's not awesome, pretty good. And then Cad Bane right here, I would say is pretty awesome. Not totally awesome, but pretty awesome there. So put them together, they're pretty awesome on that. So that's what my rating is, and I stick to that. So with that, that's all I got to say about those guys. You know, I'm going to go off, play with my figures, have some fun. But in the meantime, you tune in next time when we have something else good, bad, or awesome. Probably going to be the land of Transformers for a while, since I've got the Death Stars I gotta unbox and some Transformers Victory stuff. So let's do that. And so in the meantime, y'all remember, stay young, have fun, and be awesome. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.